Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of the Thoughts on Education interview series. Today I'm extremely delighted to welcome Professor Tomy Joseph. He's the Dean of Administration at Amal Jyothi College of Engineering, and he's agreed so graciously to take time out of his busy day to spend some time with us. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Now, before we start, I just want to give the viewers a brief background on your career. So Professor Tomy Joseph started his career as a scientific officer and engineer at the prestigious Baba Atomic Research Center. Soon after earning his engineering degree from the Government Engineering College in Thrissur, he spent more than a decade at the Baba Atomic Research Center. Now, prior to joining academia, the professor spent 6 years in the mechanical engineering industry, taking on projects in the Middle East, primarily Saudi Arabia. He joined Amal Jyothi College of Engineering during its founding years in 2001, and after working as a teaching faculty in the Mechanical Engineering Department for more than a decade, he was elevated to his current position as the Dean of Administration. We are very honored to host you today, sir, and we appreciate your interest in speaking to the students on behalf of Amal Jyothi College of Engineering.
Thank you. Most pleasure.
Yes, sir. So, as we start, I just wanted to ask you if you could give the viewers a little brief about Amal Jyothi College of Engineering and what makes this institute unique in the space from the viewpoint of a career academician such as yourself.
Yeah, Amal Jyothi College of Engineering is one of the largest and best engineering college in the self-finance sector in Kerala. Mm-hmm. It started in 2001 when government of Kerala was opened its doors to private players in the field. Mm-hmm. Before that, there were only 6 or 7 colleges in Kerala. Now the number is 150 plus. So in 2001 itself, we started with just 4 programs and 180 students. Mm-hmm. Now in the 20th year, we have 10 BTech programs, 9 MTech programs, and 2 streams of MCA, and with a student base of 3,400. Mm-hmm. Annual intake is around 840, for the BTech. Absolutely. And 159 for the MTech and 180 for the MCA program. This is started. It's a NAC A-grade college. Mm-hmm. And NBA accredited for 2 programs. Mm-hmm. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, our accreditation process for the remaining BTech programs got delayed. Mm-hmm. It was to happen this year, but it got delayed. That is the status now.
Absolutely.
16 batches of BTech programs passed out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, AGC is one of the most prestigious institute as far as to the best of my knowledge in Kerala, because there's a lot of interest towards that your particular institute, because we actually give tabs on a lot of students, and the reviews you've received on the website itself has been very sparkling, and I want to congratulate you and applaud the team in growing. Since you're one of the founding members of the team, you were there from the very beginning. I just want to applaud you and the rest of the team in getting all these milestones and achievements. So props to you, sir.
It is one of the cleanest and greenest campus in Kerala.
Absolutely.
And it is slightly away from the city, and it is very cool, calm area. Mm-hmm. Slightly rural background, but well connected. Mm-hmm. We were having foreign students and students from the Jammu and Kashmir, Nepal, mm-hmm. etc. Mm-hmm. One of the attraction is campus hostels. About 70 to 80% of the students can stay in the hostels. 2,500 students can stay in the campus hostel itself. Mm-hmm. So it's a big hostel, mm-hmm. and the mess facilities are world standard, mm-hmm. I would say, or fully mechanized kitchen. Mm-hmm. And things like that, and we have a power laundry for laundry purpose. Students need not wash their clothes and all this one. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yes.
Yes. So because of all these facilities, I'm sure the students can focus on their education, the academics, and not worry about any other things. And I'm glad to know that AGC is taking steps to ensure that. So again, props to you, sir. Actually, I've never been to the campus, but I've seen pictures and it looks really beautiful, like you said.
Yes,
Now,
really
sir, absolutely. Now, sir, could you speak a bit more about the curriculum and your teaching methods in your institute and department and how they ensure the best industry practices?
You see, this is a college affiliated to APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, Thiruvananthapuram. Prior to 2015, it was affiliated to Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam. But in 2015, all engineering colleges were migrated to a new university, technological university, set up in Kerala. That is, in short, we call it KTU, Kerala Technological University. But its actual name is APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. So we are bound to follow the curriculum specified by the university. So 2015, there was a particular curriculum. It was revised in 2019, and now we are following that. Based on that, we are delivering this. In the COVID situation now, online teaching learning process is going on. That is well taken care of on various platforms, Moodle, Zoom, and all. And probably this semester, university announced that the examination will be conducted in the normal mode, offline mode. But last year, it was in the online mode. That's the status. We have to follow the university pattern. We don't have. Only thing is that the electives or the minor courses and honors, etc. There are some add-on facilities. As per the university curriculum only, we can offer extra courses in that, and students can choose interested topics or courses in that. So otherwise, generally we have to follow the curriculum of the university.
Absolutely. I understand. And speaking of the pandemic, as you rightly said, from the opinion of a career academician like yourself, what impact does the COVID-19 pandemic have on higher education as a whole?
You see, for the engineering, I mean, the courses, classroom teaching learning process is continuing. The students are well matured. Teachers can utilize almost all the teachers are in the campus. They are working from 8:30 to 3:30 in this situation from June onwards. So they are teaching from the campus only, utilizing all the facilities provided here. But students are facing, especially rural background students, they are facing some connectivity issues, and that is a problem. But otherwise, regular courses, it is well taken care of. But with respect to the practical classes, laboratory, that is, it is not possible for at least in the core programs like mechanical, civil, electrical, such branches. There are some laboratories which are to be done in the lab only. We cannot do it virtually or something like that.
I understand.
So, but in the circuit branches, computer, IT, to some extent the electronics and all, they are managing some of the labs online even. So that is a situation. So students are a bit worried about the laboratory and all. We presume that the COVID situation, once it is over, we will be able to complete the pending lab sessions of previous semester, this semester and all. Also the hardcore projects where hardwares are to be made in a group and all. That also is a little bit suffering. That kind of a situation is there. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's pretty much faced by most colleges all over India, because we at our platform keep tabs on these things, and I'm glad to hear that AGC is taking active steps to make sure that it doesn't affect the lives of the students or their academic futures well, and that is something to be applauded for. So yeah, props to you for that.
But I have seen students are taking or probing new avenues during this COVID situation. I have seen students doing online courses, hundreds, Coursera and NPTEL courses. Earlier, this kind of an interest was not there, so we used to encourage them. But in this situation, students themselves taken a lot of initiatives and they have completed online training program, even internships and courses in very good numbers. That's a big achievement for them. Yeah, many students are very proud of all those certificates.
Absolutely. And in fact, one of the things that COVID has ensured is education is now more accessible because you can access it from anywhere, wherever you're located. It doesn't have to be restricted to a classroom learning. So that is actually one of the benefits that came from this pandemic. While that being said, students, not only do they learn from classrooms, but they also learn from a peer community. But I feel like one of the biggest challenges with online learning is that the peer learning has been affected. So they can learn directly from the instructor, but the community feeling has taken an impact. So the peer learning has also in turn taken an impact. So would you agree?
Students take their own interest and start. It's a self-learning initiative, especially in the higher education sector. This should be there, self-learning. But in the pre-pandemic period, that was not there that much. But that has changed a lot. So students started learning themselves. They can go to any extent.
I see.
Not only engineering. There are students interested in literature, things like that. So they are doing it and doing it well.
Absolutely. And that is definitely something really
and maybe the educational profile will change in the future. This classroom learning. Naturally, universities are also thinking to introduce certain modes in the, must-be open online courses like NPTEL and Coursera, etc., into the curriculum.
Absolutely.
So that will be there in future. So instead of teaching every course in the classroom, some major courses will be taught there, and one or two courses in every semester will be online. That kind of a thinking process is going on, and that will be there in the near future.
Absolutely. And actually, that was actually my next question. So, we always like to ask the top management this question about in the future, what kind of challenges do you see that the higher education will face? Because for the past couple of decades, it has remained pretty much remained as it was. There has not been such radical, innovative changes. Sir, I think I lost you for a little while, but it's okay. We can continue. So I was saying that education is one industry where there has not been much innovation. So my question to you, sir, is what challenges do you see for the whole educational ecosystem as a whole in the near future to come? What are some of the top challenges that you think will happen?
You see, now the talk of the town is NEP 2020, National Educational Policy. They have proposed a lot of more changes. So now the exact modality of implementing the same, that is to be seen. So it is sure that it will be implemented. So they are suggesting big universities instead of colleges and all. The first segment, we have already taken some initiative in that. We are going for the autonomous status. We have made an application to the UGC, and the inspection is in this month or next month it will take place. So once we get the autonomous status, then next step is ultimately we have to go to the university status. So giving much importance to research and all. So we have started working on that. So when national educational policy is implemented, colleges will have to change a lot. means it is not a mere engineering college. It is a multidisciplinary concept.
I see.
That means engineering, languages, yoga, and what sort of thing, except medical and law, that used to be kept separate. All other courses can be given from a single campus. Earlier, that kind of a freedom was not there with the ACT and all. ACT, it was purely clearly specified that engineering, MCA, management, things like that. Okay. But other courses we could not conduct from our campus. But in the new educational policy, we have to change to a different set of courses, and anybody can, and a lot of freedom is there. In the sense, if somebody wanted to do 2-semester course and go out and continue it in another college somewhere, so that is possible. But in the present situation, that kind of a freedom to students were not there. But it will change a lot. But how we are going to implement it, it will take some time.
Absolutely.
So that is to be seen. How the higher level committees will implement all those things. So somebody is coming and taking 2 semester or 2-year study here. Then he is shifted to Bihar and continuing the same program there in another college. So ultimately, we have to that continuation should be there. So then the curriculum must be somewhat similar.
Absolutely.
Then they are talking about a credit bank. Whatever you do, even if you do 1 semester here, whatever courses you have successfully completed, there is a credit for each course that will be in your account. It's a bank sort of thing. So
I see.
This is one. And if somebody else is migrating to another place, he can continue that course showing all these credentials. That kind of a facility was not there previously. But this is going to change the whole educational sector a lot. So, but we are not sure how it will be implemented and who will be the issuing certificates, the final institution or the first institution where the student registered. Such technicalities you have to see in future.
Absolutely.
But students, it will be very, very good in the sense, they have a lot of freedom.
Sir, I'm actually quite glad that you brought the topic of the new education policy, because I feel like a lot of students have heard of it somewhat, but hearing directly from top management dignitary of an institute and giving more clarity on it, that I think will be very beneficial to the people who are listening to this interview, because you've given some a lot of information about it. So that's something that students are looking for.
Some inputs I can, but otherwise we are also not that much clear. The way it is going to be implemented.
Absolutely. Regardless,
I have to have a big campus.
Absolutely.
So what will happen to the small colleges? We are worried.
But I think in whole let me ask your opinion. But in whole, it is a step forward, right? Do you think? Are you like pro this kind of change, or would personally, from your personal viewpoint, what do you think of this?
No, this is from the students' angle. It is good. It is good, but the way it is going to be implemented, we have to see. That kind of a freedom, it is always good, because earlier, say one example, if I say, if a student study 4 years here, complete these courses and with say some back papers and all, and the university says you should complete your BTech program in 6 years. And unfortunately, if he is unable to clear all the papers in 6 years, he will not have a degree. He will not get a degree. He will only have some mark list, and nobody will value that.
Absolutely.
But in the new system, in the bank, he will have the credit. If he is completing 2 years of study, he is eligible for a diploma.
I see. Got it.
3 years means he can get a graduate degree. But it is 4 years graduate degree with, say, honors or research degrees, something like that. So that kind of a provision is there. If 1 year only is completed, we can get a certificate, or we call it ITI certificate. But all these things have to be minute details we do not know. But there are provisions like this. So if I am doing only 1 year or 2 year, I will have some certificates with me. So with that, he can go out, and with that kind of a skill set, he can look for a suitable job. Thereafter, after some time, if he feels, he can come back to the campus and continue, or elsewhere.
Got it.
But that kind of a flexibility was not there earlier. So looking at the management angle, we will be losing some students. Maybe some good students will come back. That kind of a situation is there. So good campuses will always attract students.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
They will not have any problem. And
so
I feel, suppose a student scores very good marks in the first year, and if there is a provision to shift or migrate to a better college, if that provision is there, it is good for the student.
Absolutely.
Of course, the college will suffer. So there will be a healthy competition.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So from what I can see, you theoretically you like the idea, but you have obviously some concerns on how to implement the idea, right? That's what I'm getting from you.
The implementation is still not that very clear. The thing is that we have to go for accreditations and inspection. The first step, we are already on the job, autonomous status. So we will be given a status after the inspection by UGC inspection authorities. So we will get academic autonomy.
Absolutely.
So we can start new courses, but earlier the process was very lengthy. We had to get a university approval, ASCP approval, government approval, so many things. But in the new setup, starting a new course or thing like that, it will be very flexible.
Absolutely.
And the powers will be there to the autonomous campuses or university. Like our well-known private campuses in Bangalore and all, there are successful stories like Christ, SRM, VAT and all.
Absolutely.
That kind of a situation will come up in all over India.
Absolutely. Sir, actually speaking of which, you had, like you said, obviously this will benefit some of the bigger campuses with more infrastructure. So can you speak a little about that in terms of AGC? So what do you see are some of the college's greatest strengths, apart from obviously one of the best facilities and infrastructure? What other strengths do you think that AGC has uniquely?
We give a lot of thrust for the innovation and entrepreneurship. This is one of the, I think this is the first self-financed engineering college in Kerala to get a massive funding of 3.65 crores from the central government for a TBI, Technology Business Incubator. That was in 2016. That was in continuation to an entrepreneurship development cell. That was in 2019. It's a 5-year project that also was government funded. So on the successful completion of that, we got a GBA with a 3.65 crore funding. Now in 2019, we got another GBI in the biotechnology sector, bio incubator we call it. That is 4.5 crore or something like that. We are in the process of implementing it. Already in the first GBA, about 30 companies are working here. Many have graduated from here. So that kind of a very strong innovation culture is there in the campus.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of research funded projects going on here. And we are also inducting a lot of PhD holders in the various faculty departments. So that kind of a research culture is getting developed. Those two things are the most strong points. Another thing is we are going for a community radio station. It is already sanctioned by the central government. It is getting implemented.
That's great, sir.
What else? So it is self-contained campus in the sense we are getting power from the state grid, but it is supported by in-house power station, totally taken care. And a 200 kilowatt solar power plant is already installed. That is also an innovative project. Infrastructure wise, building wise, it is about 17.5 lakh square feet. I think nobody else in Kerala got that kind of building. This one. And the area also, the land area is about 60 acres. Whereas the actual requirement is 7.5 acres. Already the campus is spread across 60 acres. And the management is a Catholic Diocese of Kanjirapalli. They are very much, it is run not for any profit. It's a Catholic institution. So development and community, especially this is in the slightly rural, this one, lot of rural population is getting benefited out of it. Of course, we have students from all over Kerala and other parts of the country and even from abroad.
Absolutely. So that's actually great to hear, and I'm sure that kind of information is very useful for any prospective students that view this particular interview. So thank you for sharing that, sir. And as we come to,
and also we have one thing I forgot to tell you. We have some tie-up with some multinational companies like Eicher Motors, Volvo Eicher, Royal Enfield, Bosch, Yamaha, and Kempi for welding. All those organizations, they have started their own training centers. So students are able to take training in their vehicles. So they have their latest, if I take the case of Royal Enfield, even before start selling the latest product, their bikes will come here in our campus. But it will not be shown to anybody else, but for the training of technicians. I mean, Royal Enfield is bringing their service technicians in the campus. In this campus, they are giving training. Of course, this facility is utilized by our students also for internship.
Absolutely.
It's a double advantage. Similarly, is the case with Volvo Eicher, Bosch, etc. And we have a center with a Kerala-based company, Nest. We call it Unfold. That is in fiber technology. So that is also giving training to outside technicians as well as our students.
I see.
Technicians taking training here, they get a lot of employment in the Gulf sector and all. But due to COVID now, all these things are stalled a little bit.
Understandably. So that's actually great to hear, because obviously that kind of initiatives from the college side would definitely help students as they step out of the campus gates. Thank you for sharing that, sir. And as we come towards the end of the interview, I just wanted to ask you, sir, do you have any pieces of suggestions or advice to any student who is currently trying to decide on the big decision in terms of higher education? What should they do with their lives, etc. So I'm more asking, suppose there's a student in maybe the 11th or the 12th grade, and they're trying to figure out what to do with their lives in terms of higher education. What advice or suggestions would you give them, sir?
Normally, when you see the admissions and all, nowadays, I don't know whether the student is taking the decision or the parents. This is a very, very, very difficult situation.
Absolutely.
The parents approach us, which is the best branch here with the employment potential. Now, the advice is that it is not. Today it is computer science. Maybe after 4 years, it may be civil engineering. We cannot predict that. So once the student join computer science here, when he pass out, The demand may be for civil engineering. So that kind of a situation is there. So we should normally advise students that they should go after their passion.
I see.
A student can take computer science if he is so passionate about it. If he works, I had a student, I used to teach earlier engineering graphics and all. I was spotted a student at the back bench. He was partly sleeping and all. Then I approached him. I told him, what is wrong with you? Your eyes are red. So he said, I didn't sleep last night that much. Then I first thought he has some vision problem. So there was a seat at the front and all. I invited him to come and sit in the front. Then he said, it is not that, sir. I didn't sleep. Then what is the matter? So I was working on my laptop. How many hours? Throughout. Then he is in the first year. So what are you doing with? Sir, I get a lot of projects from abroad and I do it. Graphic design, things like that. And get a lot of money, make a lot of money. Then I was wondering, first year, then I asked him, how did you learn all those things? He was not from the computer science department or something like that. It was by self-learning. Through the internet only, I learned all these skills and I am making a lot of money. Then I told him, after 4 years, you should have a degree. Otherwise, all these things will be waste. So then he said, yes, sir, he will do. But there's such kind of students are there. They will not have any neck pain, back pain if they work for 24 hours continuously. But others will get neck pain quite often. If they are not passionate or interested in that is the kind of a situation is there in some of the sectors. So after 2 years, they get bored of their employment.
Absolutely.
They studied a lot of with interest and all, but they get bored of. They do not know what they are doing, which project they are doing. 1 by 1,000 of a project or something they are doing and all. So they immediately start frustration and they go for, let us go for higher studies. Go abroad person. This kind of a situation is there. But there are students enjoying and going on the ladder. So it is all about the passion. If somebody is having an automobile passion, he should go for automobile engineering or mechanical engineering and start studying. Then only he can enjoy life.
Absolutely.
Not the money. Over a period of time, everybody will make money. That is sure. But starting, say, mechanical and civil people will not get much heavy salary and all. It takes time.
Absolutely.
So, core branches, always they have a demand, not that high or low. They keep this one. But branches like computer science and IT and all, yes, now it is a hot cakes in Kerala and all. Everybody wants computer science. Before it was electronics and communication engineering. That era is slightly down now. Now it is computer science. So everybody wanted computer science. That is not the situation. The student shall think, he shall talk with his friends studying engineering and talk to faculty members, see the curriculum and all. Then they should be made to select the choice, 2-3 choices. Then you should go for it. That is my simple advice.
Absolutely.
It is not that today it is a very hot subject, so I will go for it. Or many are going like that. No. My friends are going. No. It is not like that.
I understand. And I think that's especially right now, I think that's a very useful piece of advice to students listening to this, because at the end of the day, they have to be interested in whatever they're trying to learn. And only then can they actually have a life that's, worth living, basically. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing the piece of advice, which I'm sure a lot of students will resonate with. And more than that, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to have this discussion with us. And myself and Team Collegedunia really appreciate your efforts in collaborating with us. And thank you so much. And we wish the very best for you and Amal Jyothi College of Engineering in the future. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was nice talking to you.
Of course, sir. Same here as well.